Gimmicks, is it? Gammix. There's no E, so it's not Gamix. This one of my competitors put out a video 7 months ago, last uploaded. Nice to keep your audience engaged. 42k, not bad. They've missed so many good local co-op PvP arcade racers. A gaming channel where we mix information gaming lists with a dash of humour. I'll be the judge of that. Can we have a little listen? No, just leave them alone, mate. What is the matter with you?
Bonus mode, where you use power-ups to knock out other racers. Mono screen, where you must keep up with the screen or be eliminated from the race.
How do I get that voice? How do I get that? You need to be 14 and an American. Two things that you are certainly not. Around 6,000 people every 48 hours go past the channel, and only about 0.9% of them commit. So if you're familiar with my work, haven't subbed yet, please help me out. Shall we get started? The first game on the list is something called Party Crashers. This is one part of a half game, and it comes with a golf party mode also. It's quite difficult to find on PSN. It's not available in all countries, and it is a Sony exclusive. But as you can see, very colourful, very fun, a little bit of a casual one for the start of the list. Also got quite a few modes, including a top-down, singular screen, micro machine setup. Not bad for £5. So it's white knuckle 2-car only racing with the Gran Turismo series, and I have snubbed the newest GT7. Let me repeat that. This is not Gran Turismo 7, this is Gran Turismo Sport. 7 has got broken variables, barely works, and again, only has 2 cars on track. Major scoring elements for this list, Gammix, are things like local cooperative content, meaning it's not just futile, the playthroughs go towards something, a greater goal, a mission structure, even a full campaign, dare I say. And the games at the higher end of this list adhere to that. The Gran Turismo series does not. It's all about one-player development and then taking that content into the split screen. What a tragic waste, Polyphonic. Our first true classic arcade racer comes in the form of Horizon Turbo Chase. A little bit older, this one does sport 4-player split screen and has gone on my recent 4-player list. I love it to bits. I love its look. I love its outrun, angle, even Chase HQs in here. You use the directional buttons. There's no real drift mechanic. It's all about avoidance and high-speed, high-octane decision-making. Staunchly PvP, however, but there is an overarching track and vehicle unlock mechanism under it all. So you do want to win, but you don't want to help your teammate, but at the end of each race, there is some reward. It's got non-existent damage and a fuel system that can result in some massive urgency. Loads of fun to be had here. So positioning this one was quite hard. It comes out quite strong on its campaign and story. It's all about getting through a mini-map, progressing through levels, helping each other. This is one of the few games on the list that features a mechanic that allows you to pass a weapon to your co-op teammate. So you are literally battling all the other players as a singular team. It works very well. It's the only game on the list that does that. Again, sporting a great 4-player split and unlockables and car customization. Very family friendly as well, featuring a NOS system that is not rocket science. So everybody can get involved in this. Colourful, lively, a great game. Team Sonic Racing. I have been waiting to talk about grip again for nearly 4.5 years. This game's got an amazing soundtrack, anti-gravity, tracks that will blow your mind, but here's the selling point. Each of the cars has got like a bolt-on system with the wheels, with the body, with all of the front and back structures so that you can swap all of it in and out between races, start unlocking parts. The single-player campaign is absolutely massive. The whole anti-gravity thing is handled really well, giving you differences in handling on different vehicle types, and it's staunchly PvP with loads of projectile weaponry. You do want to win each of these races, but more playing results in better vehicles and bigger tracks being open. It's also still not looking terrible. There's PlayStation Pro boosts and the 5 version's got a nice pegged frame rate. Alright, we're getting into the advanced kart racing meta with Crash Bandicoot. This one's a tough sell because its NOS system is so embedded in the original game, and being able to understand every intricacy of mechanic is going to put some people off. It is a difficult game, but it's one of the best racers on the systems. Looks stunning. This game was given such great rework, some of the best character animations in the industry, and some of the unlockables and tracks are completely mind-blowing. This is in a AAA experience, sat comfortably in a split-screen kart racer. This is the nearest thing on Sony systems to a decent Mario Kart clone. I say that hand on heart, and it does sport 4-player split screen, and it's probably got some of the more interesting projectile, weaponry or weapon systems out of any kart racer. It's very deep, and just having it without split screen as a standalone game, also a wealth of content to be had here. Like the Sonic game, this features a very broad track, so you'll have loads going on all around you as opposed to a narrow, solitary experience. It's a great party game, but they did screw up a little bit with micros and pay to win online. I would not go anywhere near that. Stick to the local co-op and stick to Crash Bandicoot. Dang, this game's hard. And if you know the backstory with Moto GP and my channel, yeah, I'm going to have to get my dad in before middle of the year because we've got a new one coming up. I love testing this game out with him because it's just so difficult. We both genuinely find it as tough as each other. Even though he's not a gamer, getting around these corners, learning what this game's trying to teach you is an experience in itself. I am a little bit biased because I'm a huge motorcycle fan, and I played loads of this on the PlayStation 3. Me and a buddy just understood all of it and just learned how to be at the front of a pack. The tension when you're going around the last few bends and there's bikes all around you, it's kind of unrivaled, but it's not very new user friendly. And on the campaign thing, not really too much for 2 players, but loads for the one. Hot Shot Racers is almost a Burnout clone. It feels like an indie Need for Speed game. The cars are excellent, there's even characters to choose from, the tracks are amazing, the drift mechanic is totally believable, and the reward system with the NOS encourages aggression, swiping people out of the way and just going hell for leather around each corner sideways. Not a massive emphasis on local co-op story or campaign progression, but a huge car differential that's really worth exploring, and the characters that go with them, and of course these tracks. The colours, the accessible controls make this a great local PvP racer. That jump in technical performance, my god, this is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I was a fan of the first one, haven't put it on this list because this does everything just a little bit better, more cars, more tracks, more stuff going on. You might remember me talking about the minimap system in Team Sonic, giving options of which direction to go in. With this, they kind of push that quite a bit. If you know Hot Wheels as a brand, it's all about getting the little cars in their packets, unlocking them. This pushes XP to player 1, who can then go in, get more cars for everybody to enjoy. So they're half won the local co-op argument. It's still very good to take all that XP, unlock new cars and see what the game's going to give you, but more importantly, the actual day-to-day meta is amazing. It's one of the better looking arcade racers on the market. That AI pulling a wheelie, it's got really good aggressive opponent pushback, and it's got one of the bigger fantasy car rosters in all of the games, featuring dump trucks, Scooby-Doo vans, 4x4s and monster trucks, even motorcycles in this newest edition. Time for some serious split screen in the form of F1 2023. The reason I featured this game in its own video is because it made it onto Gamepass and PSN Plus for that higher echelon of payment. It's certainly a game that is worth looking at. I wouldn't purchase it every year, but this one in particular shines graphically and features an amazing season campaign, giving you both points and experience to spend. You can be on the same team, but you can also switch that out and have a true PvP experience. Full tracks and roster, polyphonic, take a good look. Its technical prowess, sheer speed and noise of it all makes it very much stand out as a split-screen modern co-op game. You even get a singular replay. Cannot tell you how valuable that is after having a grueling season and then watching the final race with your mates, seeing yourself slip to the front. So much exhilaration when you're doing the race itself, thinking how amazing you're going to look in that replay. F1 is not to be ignored. It's a very, very good split screen racer. Remember that kid on the Gamepass thing? Yeah, you're getting a bit passionate, Coop. Can you just dial that down a little bit, mate? Get it back to script level mundane. I'm not dialing it down, it's Redemption Road, or Road Redemption, the developers probably will correct me on. This is the best local co-op content on the list by a square mile, because it's a roguelike. You have to do runs, you will not get through level 1 if you do not work as a team. You've got to whack everyone with sticks, machetes, and shoot people with machine guns. It is a spiritual successor to Road Rash. This is an absolutely brilliant indie game in its own right, let alone it being a local co-op that puts you into boss battles, forces you to survive through elimination rounds, even gets you to do traditional races but with all these crazy rules. You've got boosts, you've got NOS, you've got aggression and feedback, you've even got build moves on a lot of your slashes, left and right, and a nudge. You are left wanting for nothing after a Road Redemption.
The Jackal target is eliminated.
It's time to talk about the Dark Souls of arcade racing. Trackmania has had quite a few different updates and versions since its initial release way back when. I'm going to go with like 2017. It's a bit of an online streaming phenomenon. Go and see my boy Moonlands. If you remember that bit at the start of the video with that adolescent child telling us about the different modes that this game has to offer, that's something I'm guilty of not covering too well, but yes, it does have more than just that one-on-one race mode, and that also brings me on to the lack of AI cars. Doesn't really matter with a system like this. You can implement ghost cars at different times from external internet leaderboards and just really enjoy how this game sits online against its local co-op capabilities. It does work completely not connected to the internet, but you will have access to a lot more content. Alright, it's LEGO Racing 2K LEGO Racing. This is quite high up in the list and it's one of the more modern games, and I was past pleasantly surprised with this. Why, I hear you ask, Gamepass? Well, it's got an open world system. Quite literally, choose a quest, a bit like Plants vs Zombies. You have different ranks, you go for major races, you can even do mini games, golfing, stuff that you'll discover in and around that map. It's pretty massive. I think you'll also agree it looks absolutely incredible. Up against Unleashed 2, this thing holds its own, and the cars and dissipation and weaponry are all on par with any other kart game. But it's this other stuff, not just the racing, the side quests, there's even zombie apocalypse style missions, there's aliens and flying saucers, and the car development, seeing the new results of your Lego upgrades on your actual vehicle itself, or even just switching stuff out to a plane with wheels, really brings the joy home. And again, so applicable for the entire family. No violence or bad language or difficult NOS mechanics. This one is a complete no-brainer. We had like a random chase down a missile level where you sort of play cat and mouse with it and jump up and try and get this thing in midair, and it was a real surprise. It was a locked arena completely separate to anything else in the game, and that's the key here, is the surprises, the big wealth in local co-op content, and the fact that it's a top-notch arcade racer make this one very tempting to put at the top of the list.
You've taken the lead.
Feels great to finally talk about it again. Dirt 5 PS5. Solid campaign progression, co-op, brilliant unlock system, amazing car classes. You've also got that rally aspect, but there is a little bit of tarmac in there. Excellent cars, a 4-player split, and a performance which is just stellar. Look at the amount of cars on track. Gran Turismo, what are you doing with your life? I do have a little bit of a perverse passion for the Dirt series. Dirt 3 was absolutely incredible, and Dirt Rally 2.0 is one of the better one-player rally games on the market. There is a newer WRC split-screen rally game that I haven't got to. Gamax have, but I don't know if I'm missing much. The mud, the noise, the physics, all of the differences in car change view are absolutely spectacular. My only gripe is no decent replay. There's not much we can do about that. True 10th gen split screen racer, this absolutely spectacular stuff. And I was over the moon when the PlayStation 5 launched, and this came out nearly on day one, along with COD Cold War. I was a very happy guy. We had Borderlands 3 thrown in there as well.
Okay, now, let's go.
Who are those two? At the bottom of the screen, they're the guys at PlayStation Access. They get paid a small fortune by Sony to play video games all day. I'm not jealous, I'm not bitter, but back to my point at the start of the video, all of my content should look like this. That should be me and my mate down there showing you guys good local co-op video games. I want to up the ante with the quality that I'm putting out, and I need equipment and I need cameras. Please commit to this video on a subscription level, even like it, push it on, pass it around. It will be great to be able to up the quality of my content in 2024.
Just hit me, I don't know what it was. That's the worst thing. Oh, look at them bullying me.
If I talk at length about Wipeout the Amiga collection again on this channel, it will be the 8th time. So I'm not going to bore you guys with it too much. You all know about this game's excellence. Its performance at 4K, its brilliant unlock system. Not only did it pull on the nostalgia stuff, but it also opened our eyes to that PlayStation 4 Pro. I will put links into bigger videos with Wipeout Amiga collection featured, but for the time being, it's one of the best local co-op games money can buy, and it works perfectly on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and even the Pro. Wipeout the Amiga collection comes with a flawless, free PSVR 1 upgrade, and that single-player campaign is not to be sniffed at, but all of it can be accessed by 2 people on a couch, and all of it looks absolutely amazing. Horizontal and vertical split. These ship designs are some of the best you'll ever see on the system. I was couch coop, by the way. If you want to up your arcade racing ante, I strongly suggest you have a look at my top Need for Speed video, which I put a promotional trailer together for, and I stand by this being the best piece of Need for Speed, Heat, Pursuit, and Unbound promotional media in the world. You can find me on that one, Gamix.
I'm being bullied on the track.